What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, y'all, and I want to talk a little bit about Destiny. Yes, Destiny. So if you thought it was going to be about Madden, sorry, you probably should have read the title, but I digress. So I want to talk a little bit about the raid boss that is going to be in the raid. Now, there are no spoilers. This is clearly speculation based off of some credible things such as the lore and the grimoire and things like that. I'll keep it short and simple. Shout out to my name is Byfair, if I'm pronouncing that right. Man, I love watching this channel, love listening to the lore, stuff like that, man. Oh my gosh, it just makes playing the game so much better. And I implore y'all, if you play Destiny, get into the lore, because that explains so much, and it also reveals a lot of secrets, and a little bit of that stuff I'm gonna talk about today. So first of all, the secret stuff before we get to the raid things, the raid speculations. Okay, the blonde whale, there is a charge. You have 3 tier charges: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then it's not called a tier 4. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically a legendary charge. It's a legendary item, but it charges it to the max or beyond the max. It says a very large charge. Now also, I got a bounty that dropped that was for the blonde whale, and what you have to do is defeat any plague of darkness while ascendant in the blonde whale. And we all know that these portals are starting to pop up every week in the Dreaming City that leads to the Ascendant Realm. Now, what's interesting is some information was just released stating that basically there will be more events in the Blind Whale, and that every time we play it every week, it's actually charging the Blind Whale, and eventually we'll be able to use that legendary charge that gives it a very large boost of light to the whale. That's interesting. Why is that interesting? Why is a couple of weeks? Because we know that every week the Ascendant Realm, it goes somewhere else. Last week it was underneath, was it Petra? It was underneath her. No, it was underneath, yeah, it was underneath, it was in the Lost Sector. Now it's in the Garden. So with the raid dropping Friday, there's a very good possibility that next week we could see the Ascendant Realm bubble in the Blonde Whale. And on top of that, in order to complete that Blonde Whale, hear me out, in order to complete it, you have to have one of those charges. So you go into the Ascendant Realm in the Blonde Whale to put in this other charge to face this plague. Yeah, about it. Yeah, about it. I'm just speculating. But if it works out that way, know that you heard it here on DM Gaming first. Because the lore does talk about an Ascendant Realm and the Blind Whale and things like that. We know that that stuff is there. That is fact. That is not fiction, baby. That's in the grimoire. That's in the lore. Now, raid-wise, I would not be surprised if we have to fight against Cayde-6 in the raid. Now, we know that Riven is the raid boss. We know that already. If you don't know that, you haven't been paying attention to the game. Riven was the main boss that we fought at the end of the story mode. Now, what's interesting about that is we know, like, I know we fought Gaul. I know people are going to say, well, we fought Gaul and he wasn't the end boss. And in the story mode, we went to the Taken, the Black Guard and blase. Trust me when I tell you, I believe that Riven is going to be the main raid boss. And here's why. In the lore, Riven is a shapeshifter. This is how he tricked Prince Aldrin, because he shapeshifted into the form of his sister. He's playing on our emotions, or played on his emotions. And I think that he'll do the same thing in the form of Cayde-6. Can you imagine going into the raid? And we know that every boss fight has different phases. Well, Callus didn't. Callus pretty much had one phase. He just, Atheon had one phase. Crota had one phase. Some of the other ones, they go through different phases. I think it was in not the Taken King. Oryx had 2 phases. It wasn't the Dark Below. It was the House of Wolves. The one for House of... Anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm thinking more than one phase because he's a shapeshifter. Riven is an ahamahkarah. So he's a shape-shifting dragon, one of the few left. And that's why he was able to shapeshift into the form of the queen. And then that's how he was able to, at the end, the form that we saw of Riven, the one that ate Prince Aldrin in a sense, that wasn't the form of an ahamahkarah. Ahamahkarah is a dragon. He just took on the form of what looked like a servitor with teeth and tentacles. Yeah, boy. But anyway, so imagine going into the raid, the final boss lair, and Cayde-6 is there. And everybody is like, oh my gosh, Cayde-6 is here. And it even goes to the point to where he starts killing some of the ads around you, so that it's like, okay, this really is Cayde-6. He gonna help us out with the raid. And then all of a sudden, he turns on us with the golden gun and starts firing off at us. And then he shapeshifts into Riven after we have put some damage in on him. I don't know, y'all. It's just speculation, because that would go really well with the game. Because, like I said, Riven disguised himself as the queen to Prince Aldrin, his sister, and manipulated him. And I believe that the same thing could happen. He's going to take on many different forms, and each form that he takes on, I believe, is going to have different things to do in the raid. This looks like it's going to be a pretty long raid, and a very, very good one. In my opinion, one of the first raids that actually has something to do with the actual story, because with the previous raid, the Leviathan, I haven't seen yet how that tied into the story with Gaul. It didn't. It really didn't. I know he's a Cabal, because he's a Cabal without the helmet and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm still, you know, learning the lore and stuff like that. Ed Bife, if you're watching this video, man, which I don't think you are, because you big time player. But if you listen to this video, or any of y'all listen to him, I'm gonna ask him about that. How does the Leviathan, how does Cayde-6 tie into all of this stuff? But I implore y'all to go look at that lore for Destiny. It will make the gameplay so much better, because you understand everything. You understand everything that's going on. You understand the Ascendant Realms. You understand the Queen. You understand Riven, everything that's been going on. And it explains at the end of the beginning of Destiny 2, at the end, whenever the light spread out across the universe and it hit against these pyramid-shaped things everybody thought was maybe Vex or something like that, but it wasn't. Get into that lore. Check it out. So let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Do you think that Riven will shapeshift into Cayde-6 sometime during the raid? Or do you think that, or he could possibly even go throughout the whole raid, every now and then coming out to help us out and stuff. And it's like, dude, Cayde-6 is helping us out, because remember, we're in the Ascendant Realm. We're going to be in the Ascendant Realm in this. Also, about the Blonde Whale, let me know what you think about that down in the comment section down below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Till next time, thanks for watching, and God bless.